不就是没披上嫁衣，没嫁给他为妻，成千上百个夜里没走到结局。
Fellow greeters, coming here, welcome back to part 2 of the video featuring Yoa and Conna. So alright, before we go through what you can watch to the end for the translations that I did to showcase you guys, or you can forward to the end to watch it, though I'll definitely appreciate if you guys finish the whole video. And are you guys ready? Let's get started. So featuring Yoa and Conna and Kay. Again, let's look at the art before you go through. Okay, it's nice waifu. Like I said, the redesign looks very nice compared to the old design that actually makes her looks more like main characters than NPC. Okay, she's from the Reincarnation faction, Strategies, and Empire. So, alright, apparently she's like, since she's a character control being used by Lucretia, so okay, as similar to Lucretia, she can summon a unit with her, and that summon unit, which is Yoa, has its own skills. So alright, let's go through the talent and the summons talent effect. So alright, the effect is known as Omnic Phantasmic Couple. So you increase your attack and crit rate by 20%, and at the start of each battle, summon a reflection of Shadow Yoa, which will inherit 110% of Connor's stats. And for Yoa, he has the following talent and effect. So for talent is known as Reflections of Shadows. So when moving, you can ignore enemies that are blocking in your path. You can walk through them. All possible terrain is treated as flat land. And when initiating battle, damage taken is reduced by 80%. And if Connors die in battle, Yoa will die when he ends turn. So yep, so you have to make sure or ensure the survivability of Connors, because if Connors die and only left with Yoa, he will die when you end your turn. So you gotta be careful on how you play. Then moving to the skills of Yoa. Okay, he has the following 3 skills. First is Signal Jamming. It has a cooldown of 3 turns. It's a self-targeting skill, the type single target. So when you use the skills, you obtain when HP is 100%. You cannot be attacked or targeted by enemy. When you end your turn, deal 2 random debuff to enemies 3 squares or tiles around you for 2 turns. Second skill is known as Power Shot or EMP Shot. It has a cooldown of 2 turns. The range is 4 squares or tiles. The type is physical single target skills. The effect are as follows: attack and deal 1 times damage to enemies in a straight line. After battle, reduce the enemy movement speed by -2, and they will not be able to guard for 2 turns. The third skills, you can either go with isomorphism or dimensional homology. So it's a passive skills. When Connor or Yoa initial attack and gone into battle with enemy, when they are 3 squares or tiles apart, okay, you will deal 1 times fixed damage on enemy based on the partner's attack. Okay, I'm gonna elaborate and give you guys an example. So example, Connor attacks an enemy when Yoa is 3 squares or tiles in range. After battle, you will deal 1 time of Yoa's attack to enemy or vice versa. So if Connor attack the enemy, after the battle, they will receive 1 times the attack of Yoa's attack, and if Yoa's attack, they will receive Connor's 1 times attack as fixed damage. So alright, we're gonna repeat the whole thing itself. Apparently for the talent is pretty short, so the kick is the talent of Yoa and his skills are other thing. So yep. Okay, let's repeat. So for Connor's talents, number 1, increase attack and crit by 20%. Number 2, at the start of each battle, summon a reflection of Shadow Yoa, which will inherit 110% of Yoa's stats. It has the following talents and ability. Okay, is known as Reflection of Shadow. This is for the summon skills. So when moving, you ignore enemies blocking in the path, and all possible terrain is treated as flat land. When initiating battle, damage taken is reduced by 80%. If Connors die, Yoa will die when he ends his turn. Then, okay, for your skills, you have signal jamming, you have a CD of 3 as a self-targeting skill. So when you use these skills, you obtain when HP is 100%, you cannot be attacked or targeted by enemy. And when you end your turn, you will deal 2 random debuffs to enemies 3 squares or tiles around you for 2 turns. The second skill is Pulse Shot 2 or EMP Shot 2. So attack and deal 1 times damage to enemy in a straight line. After battle, reduce enemy movement by -2 and they will not be able to guard for 2 turns. Third skill, Dimensional Homology. It's a passive skill, so it works for both Connor and Yoa. So when either of them initiate attack and go into battle with the enemy while there are 3 squares or tiles in range, or 3 squares or tiles apart max, you deal 1 times fixed damage on enemy based on the partner's attack. So for example, if Connor's attack an enemy when Yoa is in range, 3 squares or tiles in range, after battle, you will deal 1 times fixed damage of Yoa's attack to enemy or vice versa. Sorry, as usual for this part of the video, we'll be only going through exclusive skills. All the skills will be only go through during the demo play of the video. So right, okay, so they have Archer and Assassin path only, so it's pretty short, sweet and easy. So the initial path apparently it's Archer 2. So this is the first exclusive skill 1. It's known as Code Refractor. So it has is a 1C skills, CD of 2, self-targeting skills, but the type is global. So okay, once it casts the skill, Connor and Yoa will obtain reinforcement and crit chance increased by 20%, which will last for 2 turns. And that's it. It's not an AA skill, sadly. So let's repeat again. Number 1, when Connor and Yoa cast these skills, you obtain reinforcement and crit chance increased by 20%, which will last for 2 turns. For new players who do not know what reinforcement is, the effect is when you end your turn, you will heal back 20% of your HP. Exclusive skill 2. Okay, it's for the Assassin path. Okay, it's known as Pulse Shot Type 1, EMP Shot Type 1. There's a 2C skills, there's a cooldown of 2, range 4. The type is a physical single target skills. Okay, you attack an enemy in a straight line and deal 1.4 times damage to them. And then if range unit you bring will attack together with you. And after battle, cause enemies to not able to use active skills for 2 turns. Whoa, this is pretty cool because it jams up the enemy's active skills. Okay, let's repeat again. So number 1, attack and deal 1.4 times damage to enemies in a straight line, 4 squares or tiles around you. Then number 2,